So, I was watching Paul Lance's recent video. Okay? This pisses me off too as a person of faith. Okay? Doris Miller, a Native American, African American sailor. Okay? He saved multiple people from injuries. Okay? Now I want you to think, okay? His name was supposed to be on 2 aircraft carriers. Okay? But you know what the white supremacists in the White House said? No, I'm sorry, but who is this Doris Miller person? I mean, he's black, and you know I hate black people, so we're gonna put my name on the aircraft. The USS Trump. That pisses me off. See, 77 million of you MAGAts thought it was a good idea to say, hey, Trump's not perfect, but he raped a woman. Who cares, right? Because you voted for him. You literally said, as you were in the voting booth, hey, Trump isn't perfect, but raping a child is okay to Trump because I support the policy, right? You don't support the man, you support the policy. No, you support the man, not the policy. My apologies. But again, you went to the voting booth and 77 million of y'all said, hey, nobody's perfect. So we're allowing ourselves to blame the brown people, to blame the blacks, to blame the immigrants. We're okay because Leviticus chapter 19 verse 33 does not apply to you, right? So MAGA, we have somebody who is an actual patriot talk about Doris Miller. Watch. Watch. Listen to the voice of Paul Lance. Don't take my word for what he says. Listen to him, MAGAts. Let's see how you fare against an actual patriot.
This story really pisses me off.
Listen to this.
Doris Miller, known as Dory was his nickname, served in Pearl Harbor. He was a mess attendant, 2nd class. When Pearl Harbor happened, this black man saved multiple people from their injuries and got them to safety.
A black man, by the way.
In addition to that, he went up on the gun, which he really wasn't trained on, and shot down somewhere between 5 to 6 airplanes of the enemy airplanes. One was confirmed, and he said at least 5 or 6. His name is supposed to be on these 2 aircraft carriers that are coming out. And now, Donald Trump has told the Navy, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to put my name on there.
Do you know what that says, MAGA? Hey, I'm the president of the United States. I don't want a black man's name on my ship. You voted for yourself, MAGAts. You voted for yourself. Thoughts and prayers. And hey, farmers, how's the life going out for you? Huh? How's the life voting for a rapist going out for you? Huh? You don't like it, do you? Thoughts and prayers, right? The same bullshit that you gave to us, thoughts and prayers, when we voted for John McCain, when we voted for Barack Obama, when we voted for, Kamala Harris. Now we're doing it to you, MAGA. thoughts and prayers, right? Yeah, thoughts and prayers, right? Have the day you voted for. This is what you wanted. You wanted Donald Trump to put his name on the USS aircraft. This is your fault. Hey, MAGA, this is your fault. You went to the voting booth and said, ka-ching on rape, ka-ching on tax fraud, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. That's your earthly king. In 2016, you voted for an earthly king. God said no, gave you John McCain. 2020, you voted for an earthly king. God said no, gave you Barack Obama. Now, in 2024, you went to the voting booth one final time, asked God for an earthly king. God said, you know what? Here you go. And now, hey, farmers, how's it working out for you? Have the day you voted for. Hey, MAGA, how's it working out for you? Have the day you voted for. And because you couldn't stomach the black woman, here you are crying, begging for forgiveness, begging for forgiveness when, you voted for a adjudicated rapist who defends child molesters, who actively defends child molesters. How did they voted for? What 2 commandments did Jesus Christ said for us to do? With all of our Black American brothers and sisters? What are we supposed to do with them? We're not supposed to beat them. We're not supposed to hurt them. We're not supposed to do some shit to them. What are we supposed to do? Oh, yeah, now you're catching on. Love thy neighbor as thyself, but you wouldn't want to do that, right? Because you didn't want to be uncomfortable. Just like how you were not comfortable with a black woman, but you were comfortable with a rapist. Just like how you were not comfortable with John McCain being an actual decent human being, but you were just like how you were uncomfortable with calling Barack Obama a fucking Muslim and a fucking terrorist. Ooh, Barack Obama is a terrorist. Ooh, be afraid. Ooh. And now you have Donald Trump in the Oval Office saying, oh, no, we're not going to do that. No. We're not going to put some black man named Doris Miller on my ships. That's what Donald Trump said. And you voted for it. So, again, have the day you voted for. You wanted this mess, now you got it. This is not a tragedy. It's not an accident. You place your faith in Trump, and now you're smothering in lament. Have the day you voted for. Good. Suffer. Why do you think Elizabeth, New Jersey, has never been touched by ICE? Oh, that's right, because we don't condone ICE hurting our neighbors. Because why? Because we love our neighbors as ourselves. But now, Mikey Sherrill is literally raising the cost of electricity. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't know, she's a white woman. Yeah, she's a white woman. Notice how when you're black, you're treated differently. But when you're white, everything's okay. Everything's fine. Right? Just like how there was a white woman signing a paperwork making it legal to kill your baby by abortion. Wow. What a great Christian nation America is, right? Why do you think God literally wrote an X on the United States? Not because it was a conveying message of repentance. It was a conveying message of judgment coming on the United States and its people. So, let's continue to listen to what Paul Lance has to say about Doris Miller. and about what's the outcome.
Put my name on there. This man is a fucking hero. But you want to put the name of a white supremacist who rapes women on there? Let's talk about Donald Trump's military service. Oh, wait, he didn't serve because he was too much of a cowardly bitch. So his little rich daddy paid his doctor thousands of dollars to write a note that Donald Trump is too much of a whiny little fat ass bitch. Oh, let's pick bone spurs. Yeah. 5 different times because you're too much of a coward. Probably because you were too fat. Or maybe they don't take people that wear diapers and shit their pants. And then you call our troops suckers and losers while you stand at the gravesite of Normandy Beach. A pig. Then you insult John McCain. I prefer heroes who are captured. I prefer presidents who don't rape women and molest little children. But hey, sometimes you just don't get what you want.
Right? I prefer a president who knows more about Jesus Christ than he knows about Satan. I prefer a president who actually cares about humanity, who cares about, morality and decency. Just like what Paul Lance does. Paul Lance cares about morality and decency. I care about morality and decency. I care about black people. I care about trans people. I care about Muslims. But no, 77 million of y'all want to put a white supremacist name on your favorite aircraft. It's almost like you wanted Satan to be the ruler of Earth. Wow, MAGA. What a great Christian you are, right? You definitely loved your neighbor as yourself, right? So, when you stand before God, and when you see Renee Good and Alex Pretty, don't act like you had a shred of regret, because you never had on Earth. When you stand before God and see the 14 million kids that went to school hungry, don't act like you had a shred of regret, because you never had for them on Earth. This is what MAGA wants. MAGA wants Satan to rule the earth and for the earth to be heating up. I mean, look at what's happening with climate change. Look what's happening with the Euphrates River. It's drying up. What does the Bible say about the Euphrates River drying up? And the sixth angel poured his bowl on the great river Euphrates. Do you not know God personally? I'm just being honest here, MAGA. Do you not know God personally? Because if you don't, I'm sorry, but you're well on your merry way. You're well on your merry way. See, Paul, Schlepp, we all know God personally. Why? Because we care about faith. Why? Faith without works is dead. Now, let's read that, what it means. Faith means fruit. Now you're catching on. What you produce, MAGA, is the fruit of the flesh. Hate, misogyny, bigotry, blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. That is the fruit of the flesh. The fruit of the Spirit is, of course, what you hate. Kindness, generosity, loving thy neighbor as thyself. The very things you, MAGA, hate. That's why you couldn't stomach the black woman. Because she had what you don't have. Love for people. You don't love the people, you love the flag. You don't love the country. You don't love the people in this country. You love the flag. The flag is more important than people. The flag is more important than blind people, right? The flag is more important than sick people, right? That's why you want Donald Trump to put his name on the USS aircraft. Because he's white. It's not about the price of eggs, it's not about the price of gas. It's because he's white. The vast majority of gun violence, white. See, I was in ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps. I was there for the people, not for myself. I was there for the people. I stopped at Staff Sergeant. I stopped at Staff Sergeant because I knew the higher the rank, the higher and more responsibilities. I stopped at Staff Sergeant because you know what a staff person does? Tends to the people below his rank. That's what a Staff Sergeant does. He tends to the people that are below his rank. But I can hear you, MAGA, say, oh, what is he talking about? Oh, this is a travesty. Oh, he's a son of a bitch. Oh, he's a son of a bitch. He defends Barack Obama. He's a terrorist. He's a Muslim supporter. He's a trans supporter. Kill him. That's what you're doing, right? You're making all these fake accusations for what? Clout, views, clicks. What is it? Coming into my shit, talking about some. Oh, he's a trans supporter. Kill him. He's a Muslim supporter. Kill him. He likes Barack Obama. Kill him. That's exactly what the Sanhedrin did, because Jesus couldn't conform to the Sanhedrin's religion. So they killed him and crucified him in the name of God, quote unquote. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're lynching black people on trees in the name of God, by the way. Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God will not be mocked. For whatever a man reapeth, therefore shall he also soweth. Whatever a man sows, then that he shall also reap. So, MAGA, you can yap it up. You can continue calling me a traitor to the United States. You can continue talking all this nonsense about, oh, this person hates black people, this person this person that. How do I hate black people when I'm literally practicing Leviticus chapter 19, verse 33? Love thy neighbor as thyself. But you don't want to do that, right? See, now we're going to continue listening to this, but I want to give a story about this person who goes by the name of Katie Paquita. Okay? She came to my DMs. Mind you, this was the time when, me and her started talking, right? Katie Paquita came into my DMs saying that she's apostolic, saying that she's a Christian just like me, okay? And we were talking. We were having all this talk and all that jazz, right? Tell me how, when I told her about what the book of Acts chapter 2 verse 19 to 20 says, she said that the solar eclipse was all made out of science. I said, okay, if the solar eclipse was made out of science, why did Paul the Apostle wrote that very chapter? Oh, because it happened. Because it happened 2,000 years ago. Look at what's happening right now with the August 21st of 2017 all the way to April 8th of 2024. Ah, that's right. Yeah. Solar eclipse. What does the Bible say? For the sun shall be turned to darkness. And you believe that was science. Not much of a Christian, are you? Because your church literally also supports the racist podcaster, Charlie Kirk, who said that dead Americans were worth the cost of the Second Amendment. You weren't there for God. You were there for yourself, Kitty Paquita. You were there for yourself. So, Kitty Paquita, before you judge another person, how about you judge yourself? Okay? How about we talk about how you went out of your way in your silence, which, by the way, your silence chose for you, how you went out of your silence to vote for an adjudicated rapist that was in the White House. Okay? Kitty Paquita, you and 76 million of the other people sat on your fat asses and said, Donald Trump may not be perfect, but, raping children is okay. Because why? Because you didn't want to call out the atrocities of the damn planet. Ephesians 5:11. You wanted the first part. Have nothing with the works of iniquity. That's it. End of conversation. Right? No. Wrong. Has nothing with the works of iniquity, but what, Kitty Paquita? Exactly. Rather expose them. Why do you think I call you out on your bullshit, Kitty Paquita? Because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You were never there for God to begin with. Good. Get out of his church. Because you were never there. You were never there for God. You were there for yourself. If you actually followed God and loved God the same way if you actually followed God, you would actually love your neighbors. You would actually cry for Alex Pretty's death. You would actually cry for Renee Good's death. You would actually post about it on your YouTube page. But you don't care, right? And that's why people like me, people like Paul Lance, a YouTuber that I watch, and as well as Schlepp call out the atrocities of the damn planet. Why? Because we love our neighbors as ourselves. And now Donald Trump is trying to remove the respect of this African American sailor and remove his name on these two aircrafts. And Donald Trump told the Navy, no, sorry, but those are my Navy ships, so technically my name should be on there. That's basically what he's saying. And to all of you MAGA who voted for this piece of shit president, maybe now that you're starting to see that you're losing your jobs and you're losing your farms, good. Suffer for the consequences of your iniquity. Suffer. It literally says, this is not a tragedy. It's not an accident. You placed your faith in Trump, and now you're smothering in lament. Now you're here crying, begging for Trump to give you some sort of compensation. He doesn't care about you. You voted for this. Half the day you voted for. You deserve zero empathy for who you voted for. See, me, I voted for John McCain, Barack Obama, and Kamala Harris because why? Oh, now you're catching on, MAGA, because I voted for you. I voted for you. Now that you're starting to read the Bible and understand Leviticus chapter 19, verse 33 more closely, now you're starting to see that when you stand before God and when you see the 14 million kids that went to school hungry, or Renee Good or Alex Pretty, don't act like you had a shred of regret for these people that you murdered by your vote. You killed these people because of your vote. You killed Renee Good because of your vote. You killed Alex Preddy because of your vote. You killed Lorenzo Salgado because of your vote. Your silence chose for you, Kitty Paquita. And here's the thing. God didn't want you in his church in the first place because you were never there for God, Kitty Paquita. You were there for yourself. So now, let's get back to why Donald Trump wants to put his name on his aircrafts rather than an African-American sailor. Listen.
And now we have 18 service members that are dead in Iran because of his war, because he wants to protect himself and distract from the Epstein files, because he's a child molester. And now 600 of our troops have been injured. And he took 6 people off of that list that died because it was during a time when the war was on pause. So he tried to take away their deaths. What a human piece of absolute crap. The fact that the Navy is even considering this is repugnant.
The Navy is considering putting Donald Trump's name on the USS aircrafts. The 2 of them that are coming out. If you are in the Navy, fuck you. Okay? If you are in the Navy and you're considering this, fuck you. Okay? Just letting you know that right now. To any of you who serve in the Navy, fuck you. Hope you die. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're allowing the Navy, the entirety of the Navy, to consider putting Donald Trump's name on the 2 USS aircrafts that are coming out. Instead of a African-American sailor that saved multiple people's lives, Donald Trump's like, oh no, those are my toys. Those are my ships. Those are my aircraft. I want my name, my name, my name, my name. And that's what you MAGA vote on. Have the day you voted for. Again, have the day you voted for. Suffer. Good. Suffer more. Suffer more. Lose all your jobs. Lose all your farmers. Good. Suffer for the iniquity of your actions. Suffer. Because if you would have voted, if 77 million of you would have voted for Kamala Harris, none of this would have happened. No wars would have been happening. No tax on tips would have been happening. No gas prices going up would have been happening. Inflation would have been happening. But because you voted for an adjudicated rapist, here you are now making videos and crying like little babies saying, Donald Trump made me lose my job. I don't care. Suffer for your votes. Suffer for the iniquity of your action. For every action, there is a positive or negative inaction. And because you voted for the negative impact of the entire United States, good, suffer. And I'm being dead ass, suffer. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna say it slow. We warned you about this. We warned you about this, but you didn't listen. We warned you about the American Revolution 2.0, which is ICE. You didn't listen. So, with that being said, you are now witnessing the speed run of God. Literally, like right now, we're in the development stage. There's 3 stages. Right now is the production stage. Right now, Jesus is producing the tribulation. Like small instances of the tribulation are starting to take form. Okay? Then there's the development stage. The development stage is when shit starts to really happen. Okay? Then that's the final stage is where Jesus releases the full movie of the tribulation. Basically, the tribulation starts when the Antichrist comes into power and takes the people back to the Garden of Eden saying, oh, this person was a bad guy, but don't worry, I'll be the one to save you. And then these people who voted for the adjudicated rapist will also vote for the Antichrist. This is not a game. This is not a test. The same people, the same MAGAts that voted for the adjudicated rapist in the White House, the same bad cop, once he's gone and once the good cop comes, that's when people are going to celebrate. And here's the thing. I don't want to be here when the Antichrist comes up. Because when he does, he's going to deceive the people and tell them that, hey, you can have whatever it is you want as long as you follow me. I'd rather be killed for the Lord's sake than rather be taking the mark of the beast. Okay? So, MAGA, you can yap it up. And when you vote for the Antichrist, don't come to those who actually love their neighbors as themselves. Don't come to the people that actually warned you about this event. Don't come to them. Don't come to them because you wanted this. You wanted to see hell in person instead of through your death. So God is allowing this world to be taken over by the Antichrist just to make you see hell through your own lens. Just for you to finally wake up and say, wait a minute, this guy who's the Antichrist, he's the bad cop. This is literally good. This is literally a game called, this is literally the game good cop versus bad cop. They're making Donald Trump as the bad cop. And when the Antichrist comes out, that's when everyone celebrates him as the good cop. Now, mind you, I feel as though Donald Trump is doing the work of the Antichrist, not the will of the Antichrist. So, with that being said, watch until the midterms. The same people that voted for the adjudicated rapist is the same people that are going to vote for the Antichrist. And when that happens, mind you, again, God is allowing the earth to be taken over by the Antichrist just so that this could be one final wake-up call. If God writing an X on the United States conveying judgment unto mankind isn't a message, then having the world being taken over by the Antichrist might wake these people up. Or maybe when Jesus Christ comes down from heaven, as it is written in the book of Thessalonians, chapter 4 through 6 to 7 of 16 to 17. Maybe during the millennial reign, maybe that's when they will wake up. But again, these MAGA do not care for the value. I said this, and I said this multiple times. Do not be the price tag you wear around your neck. Be the worth you give to people. Why do you think I support transgenders? Why do you think I support Muslims? Why do you think I support many people? Sure, they have different religions. Sure, they have different aspects of how they believe in. That's fine. But what I believe in is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I accept him as my Lord and Savior because I know him by what he did for all of us. And you, by the way. He came down as God in the flesh and sacrificed his life so that all of us could have free will to choose whether to live life or to live in death. To live eternally with Christ or to live separately away from Christ. So MAGA, since you voted for the adjudicated rapist, you can continue yapping it up. But when you stand before God and when you see the 14 million kids that went to school hungry, when you see Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and all those people that were dead because of your votes, don't act like you had a shred of care. Because like I said before, you never had care for people while you were on Earth. Have yourself a white day.